Welcome everyone, this is Nathan Lindorf with The Rational Independent. Today we are going to look at a top article from Reddit, but we're also going to zoom out a little bit and look at the broader commentary. To start off though, here's the headline. CBS News. Judge to unseal identities of 3 people who backed George Santos's $500,000 bond. First, I wanted to share that I was actually really excited to see that this popped up on Reddit. I pay attention to a broad spectrum of political coverage, and it's interesting to me how Reddit really seems to narrow in on a certain slice of the available news to cover. And I thought it was very interesting that someone who I liken to Voldemort, or I've heard likened to Voldemort, i.e. George Soros, could be up for a $500,000 bond. And I thought, wow, that's really big news. George Soros is in trouble with the law? Wow, how did I not hear about this? So I click on the link and realized it's Representative George Santos. And I thought, oh, okay, that makes so much more sense. So my mistake, but it actually plays into what we're going to talk about today. So this is like a 3-paragraph article, and basically what it amounts to is that George Santos was indicted on several charges. The judge put him up for a $500,000 bond. 3 private individuals basically ponied up the money to get him out on bond, but their records were sealed, and they preferred to remain anonymous, fearing a backlash. There's been some pressure to get the names of those who were providing George Santos's bond uncovered. In fact, I'll go ahead and share with you a very interesting sentence. Interesting because of what it implies and what it does not say. A media consortium filed a motion seeking the unsealing of the records. You have the combined might of multiple media outlets seeking to uncover the information about who ponied up the money so that an elected representative of the United States Congress wouldn't sit in prison while facing indictment. Now, I'm not defending George Santos, careful with the name. I'm not defending George Santos in this case. I don't know the facts of his case. It's kind of immaterial. What's interesting to me is the old Sherlock Holmes story of the dog that did not bark. The idea being that the clue was in something that didn't happen. That's the key to that particular case. In this instance, I have to ask the question, how is it that we have a, quote, media consortium, a conglomerate of media entities that are so interested in this information that they work together to file a motion to force the judge to try and unseal it? That's a lot of pressure. That's money and time and effort spent to unveil, what, a couple of donors? I mean, Republican donors in New York State, most likely, are the ones that put up the money. After all, donors have money. That's what makes them donors. Why is that huge news? And when I compare it to what else is going on in the media cycle, that Reddit, I haven't even seen any reference to this in Reddit all week, for last week or so, is the Hunter Biden situation. So for those who may not know, Hunter Biden, President Joe Biden's son, has been under criminal investigation for quite some time, and there seems to be some pretty credible allegations against him. And yet, in spite of those credible allegations, we have a slow-rolled criminal investigation, something that hasn't turned into anything. Well, now the big news of the last week, at least on the right side of the news cycle, is that Hunter Biden has reached a plea agreement wherein he jumps through several hoops and admits to some misbehavior and gets probation, no jail time. This is someone who is on record, and by on record, on that there's video evidence of him committing multiple drug crimes, of him committing multiple sex crimes. There is credible evidence that he lied on a federal gun form for the side that purports to push gun control and has labored diligently to make background checks a serious centerpiece of their legislation. To me, it really undercuts the credibility if the son of a connected politician can lie on a form, which is in itself a federal felony, to lie on a gun background check form. Can lie on a form like that and skate on that charge. No jail time. In addition, it appears that he failed to, I don't think he failed to file. From what I gather, he failed to pay taxes, which is something, but then you look at it and you realize it's millions of dollars of taxes. Millions of dollars of taxes means likely tens of millions of dollars worth of income. So my question for you is, where did the income come from? Just something to ponder. But it seems that Reddit doesn't care about that. And it seems like there isn't a media consortium diligently digging to try and unearth sealed court records. Instead, they are studiously ignoring the records that are not sealed by any judge, the evidence that is out there for anyone to examine. Instead, we talk about George Santos, and we never talk about George Soros. That's my Reddit rant for today. Good luck out there.